Good Tuesday evening, November 19th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. Mid-Valley Hospital and Clinic in Omak has agreed to pay a $15,000 federal penalty for violations of the Controlled Substances Act. Students coming home for Thanksgiving break from Washington State University could expect a welcome from state troopers. A winter storm warning is in effect for our area now through Thursday morning. All the details coming up in your local weather forecast. The Wenatchee man arrested 2 months ago for allegedly firing a handgun in a Wenatchee Valley Mall parking lot now faces federal charges over the incident. 36-year-old Victor John Stevenson was indicted November 7th in U.S. District Court in Spokane on charges of unlawfully possessing ammunition while a convicted felon, plus possession of methamphetamine and fentanyl with intent to distribute. Stevenson allegedly admitted to firing a handgun at the driver of another vehicle in the parking lot. That happened on September 4th as part of an ongoing feud. No one was injured. When arrested by the Department of Corrections, he allegedly had an ounce of meth, a bag of fentanyl tablets, and a loaded handgun in his sedan. Chelan County prosecutors have dismissed drug and firearm charges against Stevenson to make way for the federal case. He still faces local charges in Douglas County, including unlawful firearm possession and reckless endangerment. The Wenatchee School District is looking for volunteers to serve on committees for their upcoming education programs and operations levy. The levy will appear on ballots in February, and the district needs people to be on pro and con committees. The two committees are responsible for preparing statements for and against the proposed ballot measure. Interested applicants should provide their name, address, email address, phone number, and a brief statement explaining their interest via email to Board President Julie Norton and Superintendent Corey Callahar. Contact information can be found on the district website or ncwlife.com, and applications must be submitted by Tuesday, November 26th at 5 p.m. Mid-Valley Hospital and Clinic in Omak has agreed to pay a $15,000 federal penalty for violations of the Controlled Substances Act. Eastern Washington U.S. Attorney Vanessa Waldrop brought suit against the small hospital after a nurse was able to manipulate its drug management system for 2 years to obtain a supply of opioids for her own personal use. Waldrop's office said the hospital did not properly review its inventory to make sure painkillers were not going astray. Aside from the financial penalty, Mid-Valley also agreed to correct its policies and procedures around opioids. The nurse in the case has entered a diversion agreement that bars her from handling controlled substances for up to 5 years. Last week, the Wenatchee City Council approved a 2025 budget that features almost $95 million in large capital projects. The total budget of $188 million includes big outlays for the McKittrick and Wenatchee Avenue intersection work at $9 million, the first phase of Confluence Parkway at $37 million, and the Wenatchee Convention Center upgrade at $10.1 million. Those are largely one-time expenses paid for through grant and bond funding. The city's base operating budget for its regular services is a mere $36 million. When we come back, we will tell you how Grant County cows have caused intermittent power blackouts, and longtime Housing Authority Director Alicia McCrae is almost officially retired. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Attention all units, be on the lookout for Hot Tub John's mind. That's right, Hot Tub John's has lost his mind at Hot Tubs Liquidators. Get a 5-person platinum spa with all the options, including 34 jets for $59.95, or a 6-person infinity with all the options included, 91 jets for $79.95. That's nuts! Celebrate these grand opening deals at both locations in Chelan and now in Wenatchee. Stay tuned for the next episode of Where's John's Mind? Hot Tub Liquidators.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Are you a good listener? Do you stay curious when exploring conflicts? Can you manage emotions in stressful situations? Do you want to help people create solutions that work for each person's needs, lives, and culture? We need people like you to learn to be volunteer mediators, and we're here to help. Contact your local dispute resolution center to discuss your interests and learn about training opportunities.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Students coming home for Thanksgiving break from Washington State University could expect a welcome from state troopers. The Washington State Patrol says it will conduct a special emphasis patrol from Thursday through December 1st, designed to discourage speeding and impaired driving while students are on the holiday break. The emphasis includes troopers patrolling highways in Grant and Kittitas counties. The agency also encourages travelers during the holiday period to pay close attention to weather conditions and be prepared for snow and ice. Instead of a power outage, you could call it a power outage. Grant County PUD crews had worked since November 13th to diagnose a series of intermittent blackouts in the Winchester area between Quincy and Ephrata. On Monday, PUD workers found evidence that cattle had been rubbing against a guy wire that served a nearby power pole. The cows' scratching is believed to have rattled the pole and caused repeated electrical faults. The Grant PUD says it now plans to place concrete barriers around the guy line to keep the cows away. Longtime Housing Authority Director Alicia McCray is almost officially retired. McCray has been the head of the Housing Authority of Chelan County and City of Wenatchee for the last 34 years. During her 10 years, she was able to increase the agency's portfolio from 70 existing apartments at 2 properties. During her 10 years, she was able to increase the agency's portfolio from 70 existing apartments at 2 properties to 599 apartments at the 20 properties it has today. McCray has been helping incoming executive director Sasha Sleeman transition over the last 2 months. McCray's last day is set for this Thursday, November 21st. Coming up next, there were not enough chairs in the Wenatchee Public Library's meeting room to seat everyone interested in a Naturalization 101 session. More on that coming up in tonight's feature story. Heavy snow in the forecast for the lowlands with blizzard conditions on area passes. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Let Mary Maid's custom cleaning experts help you clean up your to-do list. Between work, kids, and pets, it's hard to find time to keep up. Let Mary Maids of Wenatchee help. Mary Maid's cleaning experts can help keep your home or business fresh, neat, and exactly how you'd clean it, if only you had the time. Call now for a free estimate, 509-663-1710. Serving Chelan and Douglas counties, Mary Maids, let us help.
It's cold outside and time to make sure your loved ones are safe and secure at home during the cold months ahead. Aging and Adult Care has low-cost in-home care options for seniors, adults with disabilities, and for caregivers assisting relatives or friends. Services like housekeeping, personal care, and home-delivered meals can make such a difference for you or someone you know. These services and more are available by calling Aging and Adult Care's offices at 1-800-572-4459.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese blintz, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
What once was old now is new to the NCWLIFE channel. Tune in for Bonanza, Superman, The Andy Griffith Show, The Beverly Hillbillies, The Invisible Man, The Lone Ranger, and The Lucy Show. Check your program guide for classic programming on NCWLIFE channel, your local TV station.
There were not enough chairs in the Wenatchee Public Library's Sagebrush meeting room to seat everyone interested in a Naturalization 101 session. About 80 people showed for the bilingual session led by Hand in Hand Immigration Services of North Central Washington Libraries. Hand in Hand, a local nonprofit, supports legal residents in becoming U.S. citizens. The organizations have partnered for several programs, including their ongoing citizenship classes that are offered at multiple library locations. In tonight's feature story, North Central Washington Library's Latino Services Manager Claudia Beauvais spoke with NCWLIFE News about the goals of last night's session and what the steps are afterwards.
In this presentation, folks can learn about the basic steps, the requirements to becoming a U.S. citizen. They can get their questions answered from an accredited, trusted community source. And then at the end of the session, if anyone feels like they would like to continue the process, they'd like more information, then Hand in Hand has a table here where folks can leave their information to begin that consultation process with them. So after this session, they have the option to either come to our classes, which we really encourage, that you're gonna get somebody that's trained through Hand in Hand to help you navigate that content, help you understand that relationship between like U.S. history and tangible events today and how it applies to your life. And then after they complete the series of classes or whenever they feel like they're ready to answer the questions, then they can get connected with an organization like Hand in Hand to begin the application process. Or if after the session they feel like they understand the process better, they can complete that application process on their own as well. So I think this is a good starting point just to give people an idea of, you know, depending on what their situation is. If it's a pretty straightforward case, they meet their requirements, maybe they can think ahead of, I would like to take classes here and then continue working with an organization like Hand in Hand to start my application process, and the ladies are here to give them that info. Or if maybe right now they're like, you know, I feel confident that I can do this on my own. Or, you know, to get whatever questions they have answered. So I think it really varies from person to person, but I think after tonight, for a lot of these folks, it'll kind of give them that good starting point of where to go from here. You know, there's a big need in our communities not only to get information, but to get accurate, trusted information. And this is really a great way to bring people into a safe, non-biased space, get them connected with a service like Hand in Hand Immigration, for us to get connected with the people that Hand in Hand already serves and really kind of make it be like a symbiotic relationship. And we just want people to know that regardless of where they are on their path to citizenship, that this is a good place to start and that we're not going to offer any kind of incorrect information or any kind of judgment. We tend to do 10 to 12 week sessions at a time. It really just depends on the instructor. We tell folks it doesn't matter when you start. It doesn't matter if you signed up or not. In fact, right now we're not even doing registration. It's really informal. Just come and join us for any of the sessions at any of the branches where we offer that. We'll make sure to get you caught up. If it's overwhelming, all of our instructors are super patient, can slow down, do like a one-on-one catch-up session with folks. So we really encourage anybody, even if the sessions have officially started, to just come in and join a session, get the feel for what the teacher's going to be like. If you can attend multiple sessions with different instructors and see who's a better fit for you, great. That's not always realistic. We really just want to get people in the door, you know, and then we'll figure it out from there.
Time now for a check of your north central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great Tuesday. Started off with those light snow flurries early this morning. That melted off, and then just some clouds throughout our afternoon. This is a mid-afternoon shot from our Stein Hill Sky-Fi Tower camera looking up valley as we take a look at those dark clouds beginning to move in. And it might have been quiet this afternoon, but boy, is that all going to change as we get into our evening and our overnight. Just take a look at this storm system as it develops. Here we are, and here is this bomb cyclone as it begins to develop. A very noticeable curl in the center of that cyclone, a very quick developing storm system, and boy, a heavy fetch of moisture is coming up from the southwest. In fact, enough moisture to put a winter storm warning in effect. It went into effect at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and all of this area in pink is under a winter storm warning. We could see up to 8 inches of snow, winter weather advisories to our east, and then a blizzard warning. I'll tell you, if you're traveling over Stevens or Snoqualmie passes tonight, don't. Visibility will be virtually zero with snow and blizzard-like conditions. And here we go. Cascade Mountains, Highway 2, Stevens Pass, and also Snoqualmie Pass. Visibilities a quarter mile or less, and they pick up 8 to 16 inches of snow along with 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. So it is just going to be ugly in the Cascades tonight and probably for most of tomorrow as well. We'll talk more about that in a second. But today, it was a cool one. High temperature 6 degrees below where we should be at 36 unofficially. 42 is our normal high temperature for this time of year. How about that record? It stood for a long time. 65 degrees, and it was set in 1962. 32 this morning. 30 is our normal low for this time of year. And our record cold, there was a cold period back in 1985. It was the record yesterday too, and today 4 degrees, our record low temperature. Sunrise 7:12 and the sun sets at 4:20. All right, taking a look at our temperatures as we get you into Wednesday. Going to be a lot like today, maybe a touch warmer, but not much. Mid-40s for Moses Lake and Ephrata, 43 in Quincy, 39 for Wenatchee, and then a lot of 38s. Leavenworth, Cashmere, from Entiat into Chelan and also up into Omak. The cool spot tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of snow up there. Lake Wenatchee with the high tomorrow of 34 degrees. All right, let's take a look at all this, and here is a look at that bomb cyclone as it begins to move on shore, and lots of wind in western Washington. And here we go with our snow. A lot of that overnight. That light green is heavy snow, and we are right in that target area. Low temperatures tonight around 30 degrees. I'm thinking about 4 to 7 inches of snow for the Wenatchee area when we could wake up on Wednesday, and then some more snow. An 80% chance for morning snow showers, cloudy in the afternoon, high temperatures around 40 degrees tomorrow. For Thursday, another double shot of low pressure moves into the Pacific Northwest. We'll see an 80% chance once again for rain mixed with snow showers, high temperatures staying consistently in those upper 30s for Thursday. For your Friday, not much change, folks. One of those low pressure areas scoots into western Washington, and that'll bring once again an 80% chance for rain and snow on Friday. I think it'll be more rain for Friday with high temperatures near that 40-degree mark. And then as we get to the weekend, things dry out a little bit. Our areas of low pressure kind of move back out in the Pacific. That means just precipitation in western Washington Saturday. Mostly cloudy for us and a little bit warmer with highs in the low 40s. As we get to the end of the weekend on Sunday, partly cloudy skies, another area of low pressure spinning its way out in the Pacific. We'll see cooler temperatures Sunday with highs dropping back, not too bad, into the upper 30s. And then by the time we get into the end of our 7-day forecast, Monday, partly cloudy skies. It will be dry out there. High pressure, can't quite see it yet, but it'll be moving in by the middle part of next week. Well, it's talking seasonal highs for Monday with temperatures right around 40 degrees. All right, your 7-day forecast, 31 overnight tonight. Folks, we're going to wake up to at least 3 to 5 inches of snow, I think, when we wake up Wednesday morning. And then we could pick up another couple inches tomorrow, 39 our high temperature. And then Thursday and Friday, an 80% chance of a mix, rain and snow for both days. Temperatures mainly in the upper 30s. And then we dry out for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Plenty of clouds this weekend, upper 30s to lower 40s. Partly cloudy on Monday with the high temperature right around 40 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
A good Tuesday to you. Mike McDonald had his Monday meeting with the press following a big win over the 49ers on Sunday. Seattle came from behind to earn the 20-17 victory behind an 80-yard game-winning drive by Geno Smith. Coach Mike McDonald says it was guys like Geno and other leaders on the team that made the difference during the bye week.
I'm just really proud of our mentality, the leaders in our locker room. I mean, even the young guys just showing up to work, handling their business, sticking together. The leaders understanding, like, hey, we got a lot of good stuff that we're of a foundation that we're building here, and believing that they kind of having faith in the process and seeing this stuff happen on the practice field, understand the things that are going on in the meetings, all the conversations and stuff. So just really proud of our mentality that we've had, and we've shown this mentality throughout the course of the season, face some adversity, and it's just great to get some returns on all the work that we're putting in.
Over the period of 4 weeks, Seattle moved away from its two inside linebackers to bring up Tyrese Knight and bring in Ernest Jones IV. McDonald says they continue to build a chemistry.
The game is slow for him, so there's a poise there. There's a confidence in how to play blocks, how to pace the ball. He's seen all these things before. The things that are, where we're like to take the next step for him is just to understand, like, hey, how our guys play the blocks in front of him and where the ball is going to kind of end up based off of what structures that we're in and the schemes we're seeing. And that'll just come with reps, so he'll pick that up easy. Just on how we want to play some of these runs, being in the middle of our defense. But yeah, there's a poise. Not that that's unique to him, but what makes him kind of like all these guys. Hey, there's a lot of stuff going on when you're in the middle of the defense, but just kind of have an understanding of where everything kind of falls into place. And now he's the primary communicator on all three levels, getting everything set up. He hasn't complained to me yet that I've talked to him much in his ear, so that's good. So he's a fun guy to work with on game day for sure.
Geno Smith scrambled for the game-winning 13-yard touchdown to put Seattle over the top Sunday. Smith's performance came after Coach McDonald brought in a group of Navy SEALs to share their experiences with the team.
I think the cool part about the clear the next room like that was really a message that resonated with Geno that he thought was pretty cool. That came out of that whole experience. And, to see like the kind of the two worlds kind of collide and say, hey, man, like this is pretty cool. Like we're really more alike than you would anticipate, and deal with a lot of the same things mentally. It's because Geno's, he's a perfectionist. This guy wants to be right all the time, as you want your quarterback to be. And so, just having that mental toughness to say, okay, hey, look, it didn't go the way that I wanted, but there's nothing I can do about it. Now I'm going to go make it right. And then, the poise that he has, that he's continued to show, his whole career, late in the fourth quarter on some of these comeback wins. Guys it's just a stone cold, just assassin late in games. So happy he's with us.
The Seahawks will host Arizona Sunday in a battle for first place in the NFC West, slated for kickoff at 1:25 on Fox. Men's college basketball last night, Gonzaga kept its winning ways alive. The third-ranked Bulldogs beat San Diego State 80-67 behind 23 points from Graham Ike and 19 points from Ryan Nembhard. Washington State defended its home court with an 83-69 win over Northern Colorado. Cedric Coward scored 30 points for the Cougars, while Dan Erikstrup had 14. The Wenatchee Wild left town today to try to beat the Storm to make their way to Kelowna. Wenatchee takes on the Rockets tomorrow at 7 o'clock in Western Hockey League play. The Wild coming off a big win over Kamloops Saturday, a game in which Daniel Hauser reached a milestone.
Crowd will come to its feet. Pankey has it, brings it behind the goal line. History in the Wolves' Den, 100 wins for Daniel Hauser in the Western Hockey League.
When he's healthy, he steals us games. There's no question about it. And he's in a position right now, and has been for weeks after coming back from that injury, where he's been able to steal us some games. He's been, even a couple of games where we lost, he's really been the star of our game, and done a great job to keep us in those games. So Daniel's going full tilt right now as he moves into triple digits here.
Austin Drade appeared with Dan Kuntz this morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley here on the NCWLIFE channel. Drade says the Wild are starting to show nice trends after getting off to a slow start.
We're off to a nice run here. One game over the weekend, another game in overtime, so real close to getting that overtime victory on Saturday night. So I think we're starting to see that climb happen for these guys. More consistency on the ice. I think on Saturday night, Dan Johnston, our assistant coach, was saying after the game, too many passengers, not enough, really not enough drivers taking the lead and taking charge in that game on Saturday. We saw a lot more of that on Sunday. I think we need to see that more consistently, and the results are going to follow. But we're seeing some good trends right now.
Wenatchee recently added a familiar face to the fold by bringing in Lucas McCloskey, who played for the Wild a couple of years ago.
When he was here 17 years old, I remember he was a little nervous when we'd talk in interviews off the ice, and now he's 19 years old. He's 6'3". He's got a chance to catch up with him a little bit when he was back on the ice on Tuesday last week, back in town. Confident kid, going to Army after his junior career wraps up. So we knew the potential he had, and now we're glad he gets a chance to come back and showcase that upside with us and see how far he's come in 2 years since the last time we saw him.
Listen for Austin's call of the game live from Prospero Place in Kelowna tomorrow night at 7 o'clock on KPQ Radio. Well, the Wenatchee Panthers continue preparing for the State 4A volleyball tournament later this week in Yakima. Wenatchee will begin defense of its state title against Kamaikan Friday morning at 9:45. Win or lose, the Panthers will face either Eastlake or Olympia in the second round of the double elimination tournament. NCWLIFE channel will be down at the Sun Dome providing live updates on our Facebook page, so if you can't make it, be sure to tune in there. NCWLIFE is out with its winter broadcast schedule. Speaking of prep sports, the broadcast of basketball and wrestling begins December 3rd with Eastmont hosting Central Valley. Girls game will be streamed live at 5:30 with the boys to follow at 7. 2 days later, we'll be at Wenatchee High School as the Panthers host Brewster. Our first wrestling match of the season is Wednesday, December 11th as Moses Lake visits Eastmont. We're back with more hoops on Friday, December 13th with Moses Lake at Wenatchee. The year ends with the first of 3 meetings between Eastmont and Wenatchee. Eastmont, that's Thursday, December 19th. Head to ncwlife.com to download our complete broadcast calendar. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Tuesday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. When you have a second, we'd love for you to take our online survey about NCWLIFE's news and programming. Your responses will help us better serve the North Central Washington community. You can find that survey on our website at ncwlife.com. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.